welcome to the Motown India show, James and Bill. It's nice to meet both of you together. And I'm going to ask a few questions on the areas you're experts on. To begin with, I want to pick up a quote which Mr. Mike Manley said, head of Jeep brand. He said, with this Compass, we are raising the bar. A lot of efforts would have gone into its designing and, of course, engineering. When he said we are raising the bar, it obviously means raising the bar in all aspects. Mm-hmm. A lot of hard work went to the engineering aspects. Absolutely. And the design aspect.
Yep. So yeah, let me introduce off by talking about raising the bar. So the Jeep Compass is a car that we commonly refer to as there's no compromise with the Compass. There's a level of refinement outside and inside the car. The car is both refined on-road and off-road. In a lot of cases, the feature content and the materials are not consistent with those found in competitives in this medium-sized SUV segment. So we're raising the bar at Jeep with the Compass because we believe we have the right product in every way, and this is a market that is continuing to grow around the world. I know that it's growing in India and it's going around the world, and we just think we're hitting the market at the right time with the right product.
Yeah, and it's our first global Jeep, so there's a lot of design research and design clinic that was involved within various regions. This vehicle is localized in 4 different regions, and within every region, other than manufacturing, we have communicated with the market, the planning team, with various functions to gather all the information and intelligence to put into this mid-size SUV to make sure that we understand what the wants and needs from the customer base within these regions, because we're not just designing it for America, we're designing it for the world. So we have that mindset in place while we're designing this vehicle inside out.
Okay, but when we talk of the Compass, we also hear words like the small wide architecture. Mm-hmm. Is it confined to this model, or is it confined to all small models which...
No, the small wide architecture is just the name of the architecture. It's what is very common in the automotive industry is to be able to design a flexible architecture, a scalable architecture that can spawn multiple vehicles. So okay. This is an architecture that has been used for a couple of other vehicles before globally. It was the right architecture to choose for this size vehicle. And that architecture was merely a foundation, and a very important foundation for this vehicle. But the Jeep Compass that we're talking about now obviously is more than just the architecture. So we're excited about everything that it delivers.
So we can expect a lot many more models come down the line on this?
Well, there's globally right now, the other products that are on the same architecture are the Jeep Renegade and the 500X from Fiat. So those are a couple of other products that are designed, developed, and sold in some other markets. As Bill said, neither of those have the global reach that the Jeep Compass does. So the Jeep Compass has been designed in a manner that allows us to provide a consistent formula, but then also individualize or personalize it for the local markets. The Jeep Compass has been now industrialized in 4 assembly plants in 4 different regions, and those 4 regions, those 4 industrial plants allow us to take this car and really manufacture and send it to well over 100 countries around the world.
Okay, this vehicle talks also of 2 advanced intelligent 4x4 systems. Mm-hmm. And one is, of course, I'm reading, it's quite interesting, it's the Jeep Active Drive and the Jeep Active Drive Low.
Right.
Now, these sound really good for an off-roader, and I'm sure it's almost, or it's better than an ATV. Mm-hmm. So I presume it's not just a compact SUV, it's a versatile SUV too.
Yeah, it's a versatile SUV. The Active Drive system is a 4x4 system that we will use here in India. It's a 4x4 system that leverages the driveline disconnect technology that allows us to seamlessly and automatically disconnect the rear axle so that the car can function in both 4x2 front-wheel drive mode for improved fuel economy, and at the same point in time, when the traction is needed on the rear axle, the driveline disconnect reconnects the rear differential module in the back and the power takeoff unit in the front reconnect and allow all available torque to go to whatever wheels, whatever tires need it. So this is a system that provides 4x4 very capable and unquestioned 4x4 capability that's synonymous with the Jeep name. The select terrain management system, there's 4 different modes in the active drive system. The auto mode, the automatic mode, that's where most people will do their driving, and it's a mode that allows the car to basically do the job for the customer. The customer doesn't have to dial in based on the road conditions. They just keep it in auto, and when the tires sense slip, then it adjusts the traction, the torque to the appropriate tires. So it's a very intelligent system. Then the 3 other modes, the snow mode, the sand mode, and the mud mode, are all specifically designed to leverage the available torque in the ways that are consistent with what they're needed in those terrains.
Okay, but since this vehicle is going to be made in 4 different regions, it's already started in Brazil. Sorry.
Brazil, China, and Mexico.
Yeah, that's right. It's already started in one area and it's going to come down to India very soon. Now, I want to see some subtle differences or some critical changes in some of the regions, perhaps not just on the way it drives, or perhaps the way it looks on the design front, or is it just one good design which is globally beautiful? I mean,
Yeah, so to answer that, that's what our intention was, and that's what we went forward with. It's one universal look for the globe as a Jeep Compass. So I mean, there's some very minor adaptations, like for example, for the APAC region, China, India, there's a specific ski grade color palette that is designed for the APAC market. But overall, when you look at the geometry of the exterior, the interior, majority of the trim finish, it is globally standard, and the vehicle that will be produced in India will be exported into various APAC markets as well, such as Japan, Australia, Korea. So I mean, it's what we want to do is to have the customer around the world experience the same product, and that is the key message.
And when it comes to India, what was the kind of work which the company did in order to perhaps in the near future satisfy the Indian consumer? Did you get a lot of feedback from a lot of potential customers? How was it?
Yeah, so that would be that our team, also the headquarter design studio team, along with the product planning team, global portfolio team, work closely with the India market. So this Kevin Ranjan's team to work close hand in hand, getting the feedback from their product planning team, understand the wants and needs from the India market, and then provide feedback to the headquarter, and also in the product planning side, on the engineering side, to put the right specification for each price class and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abil, the fact is that India is an extremely dynamic market and it's changing rapidly in terms of its likings. If you notice, and I'm sure you must have read somewhere, the fact is all cars need to be kind of butch looking and handsome looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the trends are changing towards
Yep.
more SUV looking vehicles, however small they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is this a trend which is globally happening, or is it just pertaining to this country like India?
I would say that, you know, SUV is a trend. I mean, it's not just a trend. SUV is a shift of way people live, going from sedan to SUV. I mean, my personal projection in the future is that there will be probably 50% of the drivers will be driving SUVs. I mean, for us, you know, one advantage that we have is that Jeep brand, we're the ones that invented SUVs since 1941. I mean, we put the stake on the ground, and that's something that we will capitalize and continue to evolve. For us, I mean, there are certain trends and also the fashion within the automotive industry that we observe. but there's also a design integrity, a Jeep design DNA that we strictly follow, which is the 7-slot grille, the trapezoidal wheel arch. Those are specific to our Jeep brand DNA and our design features that will continue to evolve.
Okay, one last question is, India is definitely a price-sensitive market in the end, and we assume it's going to be priced at a level where people are going to watch it very carefully. And can you give me a few reasons you think which will make this vehicle a success in India? I'm sure you're very upbeat about the Compass, and let's assume it's rightly priced. What would be the key elements that's going to ensure that this is going to be a major hit?
So again, I was alluding to before the no compromise. I really believe it. There's a level of refinement on road and off road, and certainly as it comes to the elegance and the refinement from a styling perspective, both outside of the car and inside of the car. It's a car that has no excuses. We've spent a lot of time in its development to make sure that the car uses the right materials, the areas that the customer appreciates it. And you had asked the question before about what are some of the things that we've done in the specific market to make sure we're meeting customer requirements. We've done a lot of testing, a lot of development work in India to make sure that the ride comfort is consistent with the road inputs that you see here, to make sure that our suspension and our chassis system will be consistent with the expectations of the Indian customer. We're really, really pleased at the success and the results that we see. So.
And Bill, one last word from you. I'm very confident about its styling, both outside and inside.
Yes, absolutely. I think, we're bringing something new to the market. I think in India there's a lot of different competitors. There's a lot of varieties to offer that customer have choice of. But with the Jeep brand, we're bringing something new, but it's also timeless. That is also very signature as an SUV leader globally that we're offering to the market. That does not exist currently.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and wish you both a lot of success.
Thank you very much.